Hey everyone, welcome back to The Difference. I've got the latest update for you today on the Donald Trump case. A New York judge has just given a shocking farewell to Donald Trump using the word Godspeed. What does it mean? Let's check it out.
Let's get to Carrie Urban. She was our Fox person right there in the courtroom. She saw everything. Carrie, your thoughts as we wrap up the sentencing portion, but we await to hear what you heard in the courtroom.
Yes, we heard from the lead prosecutor, Joshua Steinglass. We heard from Todd Blanche, Donald Trump's attorney, who is set to become the #2 official at the Department of Justice in just about a week from now. We heard from Donald Trump himself, and then, of course, we heard from Judge Juan Merchan. Donald Trump, I thought, gave a pretty effective statement where he said, quite simply, I was indicted because my accountant labeled legal expenses, and that's why I'm here. He said this person could have labeled them concrete or electrical or anything like that. They didn't. They were legal expenses because they were payments to a lawyer. They were logged as such, and now I've been indicted. He also talked about Michael Cohen. He said how he was a disbarred attorney, but yet he was allowed to speak as if he was George Washington. He pointed out from the screen that he was speaking from, he saw into the courtroom and he could see Matthew Colangelo, who used to be a top senior official at the Biden Department of Justice, who left that spot, took a pretty big career downgrade to go join Alvin Bragg and prosecute Donald Trump. He pointed him out and said, this is evidence that the Department of Justice was involved. That was his perspective. And then he said, and I thought this was a very effective line, he said, speaking to Judge Merchan, he said, people watched the trial in your courtroom and the people voted decisively. I won all 7 swing states. And, as he was saying that, I was thinking about, as I walked into the courtroom, that the only protesters, per se, who were here were Trump supporters. And even as I'm standing here right now, I'm looking into a square and I'm looking at people holding Trump flags. I'm looking at a person who has a sign that says, enough is enough. We voted. We don't want this lawfare anymore. And I will note on the audio playback that we're about to get from the court, and so everyone will be able to hear for themselves, it is noteworthy that during the trial, there was no audio, there were no cameras, but for this particular sentencing, Judge Merchan agreed to have audio. I can't help but think it's because he wants the world to hear his voice sentence Donald Trump, because we were not able to have that before. But this is how these things go.
So, Carrie, let me ask you this question. So you were there as Donald Trump made his statement to the court. He's been under a gag order for these many months, which he continues to say does not allow him to say the things that he wants to say, but he appeared to say a few of the things that he's been hanging on to in the court. How did his statement to the court strike you?
It was pretty tempered. He was making actually a very effective, reasonable legal argument the entire time. He did mention the gag order, and he offhandedly said, I'm probably still under it right now. Joshua Steinglass, the prosecutor for the DA's office, his tone was different than Donald Trump's. He was dramatic. He was a bit over the top. He included what I thought were a lot of gratuitous details, very, very critical of Donald Trump, very critical of his role in this country and how he handled himself. I thought it was a bit disconnected from reality in terms of what just happened 2 months ago with the election, and thought it was a bit unnecessary. Now, Judge Merchan, typically a soft-spoken person, and he continued to be so today. He talked about how much he thought through this decision. He defended his rejection of the immunity argument, also defended the unconditional discharge, and at the end, he wished Donald Trump Godspeed as he takes his second term.
Okay, so I think that there's 2 things going on here. First of all, you heard it too. The fact that Judge Juan Merchan wanted the press there this time shows that this is a politically charged case. This is a person that's very noteworthy, future president of the United States, and he wanted to get that free press out of it. And I think that that's a little bit low class, raises questions about impartiality in the courtroom. I mean, and then when he says Godspeed, was this a genuine farewell? Was it a veiled message? I'm curious to know what y'all think. Leave a comment down below. What did he mean when he said Godspeed? See, conservatives are now left wondering, if justice was truly blind or if this was a politically charged case that twisted the outcome. Now, I'll tell you what I think. I think when this judge said Godspeed to Donald Trump, I think that he was wishing him well. In the traditional sense, that's how that message is used. And I think right at the end, the judge may have been trying to get on Donald Trump's good side, as you see that he gave him a unconditional discharge. And so I think that the judge did everything he could to boost himself here. I think it was very selfish. He, first of all, brought the press in so that the world could see him, see his face, and hear his voice. And then he also says Godspeed, trying to wish Donald Trump, well, so that Donald Trump will think better of him and there will be less consequences. Politically, again, it's all political here. But anyway, that's my 2 cents, guys. Of course, we're glad that Donald Trump is finally through this. It's absolutely ridiculous that they even had this sentencing. Insane. I love what Donald Trump said. The American people, they voted. They voted very decisively. They were the biggest. They represented the biggest courtroom of all time as Donald Trump was put on the stand and the American people said not guilty. We love this guy. We want him back as president. He's going to be president in 10 days. All right, guys, I appreciate everyone for watching. Don't forget, leave a like. It really does help out the channel, helps out the algorithm. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I will see you again tomorrow with another video. Take it easy, guys. Peace.